So this past weekend, I binged my way through season 5 of Netflix's Cobra Kai. I'm not going to say that the wheels fell off this season because the lug nuts had been loosened for some time. You can't blame 5 as some downturn. It's been heading this way. Before we get into it, I want to give a quick mention before you can even skip it. My buddies over at ANDAR.com, makers of fine leather goods, use my promo code FRY20 to save 20% at checkout. We start the season picking up where 4 ended. Miguel has fled to Mexico to seek out his father. I like how the first thing that happens to him on getting off the bus in Mexico is getting robbed. I mean, what's Mexico going to do about it? Johnny and Robbie are in Mexico looking for him, but couldn't be bothered to have a conversation in an actual moving vehicle. In case you're wondering, Miguel thinks everyone in Mexico might be his dad, and when he meets the guy that checks the most boxes, is of course disappointed and embraced by Johnny. So now that we have Sensei Johnny and Disciple Miguel reunited, we're ready to get this season on proper, right? Right? The show is called Cobra Kai. It's not going to be a whole season about Daniel LaRusso, is it? In my previous video on season 4, I said the problem with this show is a ballooning cast competing for screen time. If you didn't see that as a problem before, Ralph Macchio's top billing muscle definitely takes center stage in season 5 of Cobra Kai, which may as well be called The Karate Kid Part 3, Part 2. Last season brought the return of Terry Silver, but now that he's successfully conspired to put John Kreese in prison, Silver is plotting to expand Cobra Kai, and it's up to Danielson to stop him. Johnny has knocked up Carmen and Miguel gets dumped by Sam, but the big story is The Karate Kid Part 3, taking over a show that should be about Johnny Lawrence and those closest to him. It's good to see Kreese have some scenes, and in relation to Johnny, it would be better if LaRusso had similar screen time. Instead, what happens is kind of like the original Karate Kid movie. Macchio just shows up and makes it about him. Daniel attempts to have former rival Chosen installed as an instructor at Cobra Kai, but to Silver's credit, he sees through the scheme right quick. Daniel then assumes that Terry will look to allies, and that means the star of 3 PG-rated karate movies has to say,
Mike fucking Barnes.
Mike has changed his ways, like almost everyone from the movies, and now sells furniture. But that doesn't stop Chosen from starting a fight, because true to the series' edict, there's a fight every episode. But Mike really is a good guy now, so to thank him, Terry Silver has his store burned down. The kids decide to settle their differences at a water park. Not sure how a race down 2 completely different water slides solves anything, let alone is agreed upon, but it's a thing that happens that's supposed to be exciting. Oh, but we're not done mining Part 3 for nostalgia. Remember Jessica, played by the too young for Ralph Macchio, Robin Lively, who awkwardly says she has a boyfriend? Turns out she's the sister of Daniel LaRusso's wife, Amanda, and they have to get into a fight. Daniel gets a rematch with Terry that doesn't go well for Daniel, and it's at this point Johnny gets back into the game, again. And the senseis agree to combine forces, again. Since Chosen was able to defeat Cobra Kai's regionally sourced senseis, Terry has new featured extras flown in, or rather it has a plane taxi by a hangar because that's cheaper. Oh look, they're wearing black, in case you were confused about their intentions. Can't blame them. You'd need a flowchart just to track the allegiance of Robbie Keane alone. Terry is opening new Cobra Kai facilities across the valley and taking over existing dojos, even revealing himself to be Jewish in the process. It's at this point the best new character of Season 4, Devin Lee, takes prominence. Devin is fiercely competitive. Rather than hold a grudge against Tori for defeating her at the All Valley, Devin seeks Tori's guidance to improve her karate. It's a level-headedness uncommon to the series. Devin is a simple character who doesn't overstay her welcome. She doesn't flip-flop love interests for cheap drama. It feels like there's a purpose behind each scene of hers. And that purpose is never, hey, remember Top Gun? Cause Top Gun Maverick is big, we gotta have a Top Gun montage. Even though Johnny previously said he's into Iron Eagle. It's determined that Silver has to have a plan beyond opening new Cobra Kai locations to turn a profit. Inmate Kreese spills the beans about some international karate tournament for teens I've never heard of. Silver has the executives survey his flagship location for inclusion into the tournament, but it is interrupted by Danielson's gang. Now the stage is set to see if Cobra Kai, or whatever we're calling the combined forces, can enter, and that means fighting. First up, it's defending All Valley champ Hawk versus Kenny, who wins by using a move so deadly that it's learned instantly by watching Terry Silver perform it. Tori is slated to fight Sam, but flees. Her replacement is the eager Devin, who manages to lose again, opening the door for the committee to accept both dojos.
Of course!
At the celebratory after party, Miguel makes out with not Shailene Woodley, so Sam can see it and get in her feelings.
Of course!
The adults are having their own party, which ultimately leads to drunkenly breaking into Terry Silver's home for a final showdown. It's worth noting that Silver has a Rembrandt seascape hanging over his fireplace. This particular painting was stolen in 1990 Boston art heist, has yet to be recovered, carries an estimated value of $100 million, and a $10 million reward for turning it in. Not exactly a piece that ties together a living room. Johnny Chosen and Mike Barnes duke it out with the featured extras. Stingray is confronted by the kids, spilling the beans on who really sent him to the hospital. They then use Tori's Cobra Kai after party's pass to gain access to the security camera archives in an attempt to expose Silver, and sure enough, the Cobra Kai students show up to fight them. Key takeaway being that Devin realizes Tori was trying to warn her away from Cobra Kai. The goons do quite a number on Johnny and Mike. Terry and Chosen square off in armed combat. Does this raise the stakes too high? The entire season Chosen has been used for goofy comedy. The show's overly bright and fun look doesn't really get you to buy that this is a fight to the death. The kids get the security camera footage with perfect audio of Silver telling Tori he paid off the ref at the All Valley, uploaded to YouTube, and it is instantly processed. You know, if this series was still a YouTube original, this would have been a great stopping point. Silver arrives and brushes off the video, but this time the Cobra Kai students aren't taking his side. Daniel and Terry square off again, and this time Daniel is triumphant with the crane kick. In the aftermath, somehow only Silver is arrested, so evidently the investigation went quicker than the obvious crimes. Chosen survived his injuries because this is as family-friendly as Netflix gets, and the stolen Rembrandt is now property of Mike Barnes. Now that the truth is out, surely Kreese will be set free, but it just so happens while this is going down, he hatches a prison break. I'm not sure how much time a 75-year-old would get for beating up a 35-year-old, or if escaping prison when charges would otherwise be dropped is even a crime, but Kreese is on the loose, and that's your setup for Season 6. We have to assume that Kreese takes back Cobra Kai, and that we're going to see this international youth karate tournament play out in what I can hope is the final season. Because what in this rambling recap actually sounded like it pertained to Johnny Lawrence and those in his circle? Does any aspect of Season 5 resemble the show's initial concept of telling Johnny's side of the story and his redemption? The Karate Kid Part 3, Part 2 wasn't a total loss. William Zabka continues to deliver hilariously out-of-touch lines.
Is one of you guys named Michael?
It's Michaela.
Whatever. Hurry up, this other app's telling me I gotta pick up a guy named Jimmy John.
But the central conflict of LaRusso versus Silver and repetitive filler drama are the clear priority. If Cobra Kai is to get back on track, it needs to get smaller and more focused. Danielson should have been a recurring character, not top billed. His wife Amanda shouldn't have a role any larger than Johnny's ex Shannon. But what do I know? They don't pay me to make a hit streaming series. Hell, I can't get 5 people to watch this channel for free. So go ahead and surprise me. Hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, even tell me you're going to come back and watch a second video.